boy, it's interview day. Here we go. Hi, I'm Jasmine. Nice to meet you. What is OT about? Well, what I know about OT is dun dun dun. I'll leave you to answer that. Okay, so my makeshift mock interview. So I am going to be talking about interview day. And so I'm not really gonna, in this video, I will be talking about how to make the most of your interview day by seeing if this program is a good fit for you. Now, many times we come in very nervous to the program, to interview day, thinking, how do I impress this program? How do I show them that I'm a good fit for this program? Well, think about it. Is this program a good fit for you? So it has to be a complete, perfect, well, you know, not perfect, but a good fit for both of you. Because when both parties are happy, when you are happy in the program, naturally you're gonna be motivated to keep going, to succeed. Even if you have a hardship within the program with your academics or what have you, you'll be motivated. You would, if you really feel passionate about occupational therapy and about this program, that this program is giving you the support you need, you naturally will be inclined to keep going through the program and finding ways to best help yourself succeed. And through that, it makes you a good fit in the program. So, you like my name tag? Of course, this is how my interview day went with the program I applied to a while back, which is the program I'm in now. And they had given us name tags. It was a bunch of people who came in, a bunch of prospective students who came in, and we had an interview. We had a bunch of different a schedule of orientation, interview, and more for the day. And so we all got name tags, and here's my makeshift name tag. This was my real name tag here, and they give you a sticker to show you the group that you're in, which is the group that goes on the tour and then goes for interviewing, goes to the panels. And here's my new ID, guys, OT Life Hacker. So, I have a little treat for you under here. This is the tips that I will be sharing with you today on how to make the most of your experience in the program. I mean, in the interview day. And essentially, the top 5 things to look for on interview day to make the most of that day. You'll be coming in and you're gonna meet other students, other people in the same position as you who are interested in programs, want to get into OT, have that passion, and really want to get into the school. And of course, they're probably extremely nervous too. You also have students, such as myself, who are there for your, to help you see, like, to help answer any of the questions that you have about the program, give you any insight. And you won't always have those opportunities. I mean, I'm not sure about other programs, maybe they do or maybe they don't have the student, the opportunity to talk with other students who are actually in the program already, first years, second years, third years. We had a mix of first years and second years coming to talk with the students today, and a lot of students had a lot of great questions. And so I wanted to emphasize the importance of really knowing what kind of questions you want to ask. What do you really want to know about this program? And it basically comes down to, is this program a good fit for me? How do I know that? Ask questions to us students who are there talking with you. We wouldn't be there at the interview day if we didn't believe that, hey, you know, we're here to support you, to answer any questions that you have to see if this program is fit for you. We really want to see you succeed in wherever you're destined or want to be. And if it's this program, then great, but you have to really know for yourself if this is a good fit. And so let's get into the top 5 things that you should, that is important to consider for if this program is good for you, and if you can really be, if you feel that this will help you succeed in your goals. So really know your goals and values. Now, number one is camaraderie, meaning the cohesiveness and cooperation, the dynamics between you and your cohort, you and your colleagues. When you start your first day at the school, you'll meet all the other students who are starting just the same as you, and they might even have been from the interview day, so you might have met them then too. And it is so important to have yourself a good foundation of people that you can turn to, talk with about school problems, about problems outside of school. Build yourself that social support, that support system, because many of you will be going into a program that is outside of your home, even if that means that it's just like an hour, 2 hours away from your home. It still means you're going to be spending most of your time outside, away from that support system. And it can be really tough to adjust to a new environment, a new place, when you don't have people to talk to, people to turn to, someone to ask for advice, or just have someone to study with. When you're in occupational therapy, you'll likely have classes or skills to work on that require you to work with someone else, whether that be group projects, and that's, in our program there's a ton of group work, and I'm sure in other programs there's a lot of group work, in person and online. So online can be a doozy, but again, you're always building those connections with your classmates. You're going to be with them every day, or I mean every 5 days, or however your schedule works. You're going to see them very often, and they're going to be your source of comfort, motivation to keep going through the program even when times get tough, and knowledge, help give each other that information, bounce ideas off of each other, practice with each other, the skills. Skills, by that I mean you'll be doing transfers, meaning like helping someone to get up from the bed, get to the edge of the bed, go from the bench to a wheelchair, and showing them different like assessments, doing an assessment on a person, like a cognitive assessment or motor assessment, and essentially tons of client interactions, client simulations are gonna help you to build your skills as a therapist, because you're doing hands-on, one-on-one interactions with clients, right, in occupational therapy. So having that support from your colleagues is essential, for that being one of the reasons. You have to practice your skills in talking with others, whether it be motivational interviewing, having them do some sort of intervention, planning out activities with them. You need someone to practice on. It has to be a dynamic setting. Granted, I live by myself, so I don't have access to someone all the time. So, if you have a roommate, or one of the perks of having roommates is knock, 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 hey, can you practice with me? Knock, 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 hey, can you study with me? Knock, knock, wanna have dinner? You'll have access to someone all the time. But for me, living by myself, I don't always have that. But what I do have is that I can call up people and schedule, plan out when we can hang out, when we can meet to study, meet to just have fun, get some ice cream. Ooh, that's always fun. And then I also practice on my stuffed animals or on camera like this, but it's not the same. You need to have someone to practice with. And also, social support. You have to, you're gonna go through a lot of tough times, whether it be stress, needing to cope with other challenges, knowing deadlines for assignments, clearing up confusion. Always talk with your teacher about confusion that you may have, but also classmates can be a good source of clarifying information too. So really take advantage of leaning on each other, asking for help from one another. Asking for help is so important. Even for us, we advocate for clients to ask for help, to seek support from others. But it's hard. It's really hard to ask for help because you don't want to burden someone. You don't want to have to almost even be vulnerable to someone else. But it's so worth it. You build friendships. You learn other people's perspectives. And again, that's why I'm doing YouTube, because I'm sharing my perspectives, but I really hope that you feel comfortable to share your perspectives with me in the comments below, because we learn from each other. It is one of the benefits of being who we are, is that we always have the opportunity to grow and learn. And speaking of growth, so not only as us as human beings, but on the bigger spectrum, our environment. It is critical that our environment, meaning the place that we are in, is supporting us, that it aligns with us. And that's why I'm telling you now that you have to find a program that you feel will meet your needs. If you go into doing a program that you realize, I don't know if this is a good fit for me, but I'll change to fit this program. That's tough. I mean, it is expected that in graduate school in general, you make those changes to be able to really grow yourself. But it's like a tango. It takes both ends to really help optimize your experiences, your learning, meet your potential. And so program growth is a big one. Number two, program growth. Seeing how the program responds to students' feedback. Our program welcomes student feedback. They have they have evaluations at the end of the semester, and I think majority of programs do, right? Even undergraduate programs, they have the evaluation of the professor and of the class, and they take that feedback seriously. So they will take that and really look at how the professor can improve. In the professor's program growth is not only the management aspect, the huge overarching of what dictates the program, but it's also the teachers, the faculty. How responsive are they to emails? How responsive are they to what's being told to them about, hey, when are we going to get feedback on this? How do we know if we're doing this correctly? If you can feel comfortable with your professors, it's a good sign. It's really a good sign. But hey, everyone does things differently too. So maybe it works differently for others. Maybe that doesn't really matter to you. And so for me, it does. It does matter how progressive the program is. if they are willing to continue to make changes, or are they already set in their ways and it's, this is what life is like, you follow these rules and that's that. I mean, sure, it's not black and white with that for everything, but you never know. Some programs could be very strict in their ways and it's part of their culture, part of the history, and I'm sure you'll get some perspective on that through the program itself, their mission, values, and most definitely through the students. When you go for that interview day, best be on the lookout for, is this program progressive? Are they interested in the students' well-being, learning, the different learning styles? And so ask around, ask the students who are there at your interview day, ask them what it's all about. If the program responds well to feedback, what kind of changes have been made since you've been in this program, to see if the program is responding well to what the students' needs are, and how organized is the program. You definitely want to know that, because if there's disorganization, how long has this been happening? Is that something that you can cope with? Because when there's things that pop up that are completely unexpected, once you enter the program, it's almost like, oh my goodness, I did not anticipate this would be happening. How do I cope with this? And then now that gets us into the nit and grit of the coursework. Now you can check online, and be sure to check online when you're learning about the programs. Check for the structure of the coursework. Check for the coursework that is being provided, how the curriculum works, and that's the overarching milestones that are being met when you go through the program. What their core focus is in. That gives a clue on what their core values are. And when you're with the students, that's when you can ask, hey, what's the structure of the coursework like? Are there a lot of exams for your specific classes, like human anatomy, physiology, neurology, working with older adults, mental health? How are those courses? What's the teaching material like? Do they give a lot of lectures? Is there a lot of hands-on experience? A lot of exams? Group work, like I said, group work's a big thing. Big thing. You have a ton of group work. How is the schedule made? So like, are the professors, and this goes into organization, are the professors making it so that the coursework is manageable for you? Especially with group projects. Are group projects piled all into the same time frame as other group projects, which can be a doozy in planning for when to meet with your groups? So things to really consider. And looking at now, when I was talking about curriculum of the school, so you get to see what their values are, right? Also, this shows you the diversity in the courses and the material, as well as the diversity in research interests and areas of specialization. Say, for example, you're interested in working with, you've always been interested in foster care, and assuming, well, for doctorate, we have capstone, and for master's, I'm not sure if you have capstone or not, but you have the research, you do have research, and you have fieldwork. Does the program offer you opportunities to pursue your area of interest? If it is foster care, are there professors who are interested in foster care? Can you do research with them? Are there fieldworks in place that you could do foster care for? And personally, for me, I have an interest in older adults, particularly fall prevention. And so it's I would have liked to have more of that, more areas of interest within my program for older adult fall prevention. And it's not to say we do have professors who are interested in it, but I guess it's kind of like for fieldwork to have people who are very like familiar with fieldwork opportunities in that area, because if you have those connections already, it's going to make it so much more easier for you when you do your capstone or your field work, if it's of your choosing. Now, this gets us into field work. So this is number 5. Sorry guys, I realize I haven't been saying the numbers each time, but I will be putting it down in the description box as well, so you have not just me telling you about it verbally, but also a written, it would be written for you. Guys, speaking of written, I did not even reference this much. Whoopsie. Okay, so this will also be written in the comment in my description box. So I'll hold this up so you can see it for now, from now on. Okay, so we talked about camaraderie, coursework, diversity and interests, and the program's growth. Now let's get into the field work. So different programs have other ways of coordinating your fieldwork. You have a designated fieldwork coordinator, and it can be a way of a lottery system where your name, you're randomly picked for your fieldwork, so you don't really have the freedom of choice for where you're placed. It's given to you at random, and that might mean that you'll be staying at that that state where your program is for the rest of your fieldwork. Or it could be wherein you have choice of where you go, but a challenge with that, like take and give, is that you don't find out as soon as you would with a lottery system, because your fieldwork placement, there's a lot of work from the fieldwork coordinator to figure out, okay, what places will take this student in this area, what fieldworks would take the student who wants to go to Colorado, for example, or Florida. And so they'll have to coordinate with the places that you may have listed as your interests, or places that they're connected with, and see if they're still taking students. And one of the downsides right now, or more like, not downsides, but kind of unpredictable areas, is that with the patient-driven model and just like the different ways of insurance working right now and the payment procedures, it's going to leave kind of this murkiness into, are students going to be continued to be accepted into fieldworks, or are they being cut by these, our programs cutting fieldwork options because they are anticipating what's to come in the future with the new insurance. So there's a lot of politics and a lot of just different factors to consider for fieldwork. So that's one of the challenges that fieldwork educators have to go through. So props to them for doing all that they do. And many times it can be frustrating for students to not know what their placement is going to be yet. Now, if you've stuck with me for these full 24 minutes, bravo, I have a little treat for you, a bonus tip for what to look for on interview day. And it is essentially the sum of everything that we've just talked about, because what makes the program unique? That is a key thing for us to take away, because why should you apply to this program? What's unique about them? Why this over other programs? And yes, guys, you are also supposed to do your homework on this, so that when the program asks you, why do you want to apply here? Why this program over other programs? Have an answer ready. But also get to know more about really why this program over other programs for yourself. Well, that is this last question. What's unique about the program? And you can do all the research you want, but talking with students, talk to those students that you meet at the interview day. You've come this far, give yourself that information. You've worked so hard to get to this point, and once you get into that program for 3 years, no, is this really a good investment? What do the students say? Is this gonna be a good fit for me? And so ask the students, what is unique about the program? What got you into it? And after being in the program for so long, is it still really unique to you? What have you found to be unique about it since being in the program? Well, it could be the fieldwork. There could be international opportunities. It could be a hybrid program. You never know about the camaraderie of the students, which is a huge thing for many students, having that support system. And like I said from the very beginning of top one tips that I have for you is, how is that student camaraderie? How is that student support? Are students going in with, we have to be the top in our class, so we have to beat other students? Is it kind of like a dog eats dog world where students are competing with each other? Or is it one where you know that you can trust one another and learn from each other, learn with each other? Which I am so fortunate to say is something that came with my program, something that I've seen from the get-go. When I came in on interview day, I was like, as an interviewee, I immediately not only asked but also observed how those students interacted. And I hope for those of you who were at interview day with me today, with me being a student in the program, I hope you could see that me and my colleagues, like when I was talking with my classmate, oftentimes the students notice that, oh, she's always staring at that student. That I'm always staring at that other student. And that's because I trust her so much that we've built a friendship. We vibe off of each other. If I'm not sure about something, I'll turn to her. I can trust that she's got my back, that we've got each other's back, and that we're learning from each other. So even today, I learned so much from my colleagues about their perspectives and how I'm like, wow, you clearly are on top of things. Good for you. And so you learn so much about each other through all the opportunities that you take. That's everything for the top 5 plus a bonus that I wanted to share with you today. And get excited, because I'm also gonna have more things to share about, for things to look for on interview day, because I cannot emphasize this enough, that seeing if this program fits you is so important. To go into something that you can feel so supported, so comforted, that your needs are being met. That is critical for you optimizing your what you gain from this program. And you should be able to go home at the end of the day and say, I'm glad to be in this program. And for that, I have to say, I'm glad to be in the program I am in. I am so thankful for the opportunities and for the fact that I had the things I'm teaching you now or sharing with you are tips I used for myself. And when I came into that interview day, honestly, I was calm, because I was thinking, my thinking was, how is this program gonna fit my needs? And so I was very privileged to be one of the students who got that call and said that, hey, you were a top student at interview day. And it wasn't because I did a lot of prep work, but I'd say it was honestly because I was present in knowing, are you gonna be a good fit for me? How do you fit for me? And how can I contribute to you? Do I have what it takes to contribute? And is that worth my time, money, effort? and they could see that I was really, really engaged and interested to know about the program. And it wasn't just because I was like, hey, your program, I want to be in it, so let me seem like I'm really good for your program. No, it was that I'm like, hey, do you fit me? Okay. I mean, does your program meet my needs? All right, let's talk. So yeah, for those of you who were there with me on interview day, as an interviewee myself, I was always like, whoop, 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 question, question. And talking to the interview, the students who were there at the interview day, I'm like, hey, 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 question. And you know, it's your day, not necessarily to shine, but it's your day to know what the program is all about. Is it a good fit for you? So that's what I have to share with you about my experience and how these things that I'm telling you about the top 5 things to look for on interview day because of the student opportunities, they were big for me, and I hope that they can help you too. And I really hope that I will get to hear about your experiences after you've interviewed and what has really helped you for interviewing, because everyone who's applying for schools, I mean, I'm sure you're going through this yourself on what do I need to know? What is important? How do I do my best? Well, everyone's gonna say be yourself, and it's essentially know who you are, know what you want. Because when you know what you want, you'll know what to look for in the program, and that confidence that exudes from you is going to be, it is going to make you shine in that interview day. It will definitely make you shine because people will see like, hey, this guy knows what they're all about. They look like they have strong coping skills for getting through all the tasks that we'll be giving them. They might be a good fit for our program. And so they will think about you, they'll remember you. Tell me in the comments below what you have done to prepare for interview day, and what you've taken away from that experience, what you would have done for next time or will do for next interview that you go to. And tell me, what do you want to know more about? Because I can share as much as you want about my experience with the interview process. And that's because I, again, like I did in the interview day today when going to meet the students, my goal is to really help you recognize that your needs are important. So look at yourself and see if OT, not only if OT is for you, but if this program is a good fit for you in going into occupational therapy. All right, so like, subscribe, and comment below. I can't wait to hear from all of you. Thank you for being here with me today. Talk to you all later. Bye.